My first question is regarding Senate Bill 290. It's Making National Parks Safer Act. The beauty and the attraction of many of our national parks is the ability to get away from the world, hiking beautiful trails, which both the co-chair and myself have done in our national parks, fishing in streams far removed from highways and city lights. However, that also means that when an emergency happens, it is difficult, if not impossible, to contact emergency services. Senate Bill 290 requires the Park Service to develop a plan to install next-generation 911 systems in consultation with state and local officials. My question is, how can this bill and next-generation technology, like what the cell and satellite service at T-Mobile recently deployed in Montana, how can that be used to increase emergency services while also protecting the natural beauty and the getting away from it all experience we seek when going to our parks?
Sure. Thank you, Senator. The bill would improve safety by upgrading our communications technology, as you've identified, we rely on during emergencies with better location data, better situational awareness as to where folks are enjoying their parks. These improvements are largely invisible to visitors, so they strengthen the emergency response without deterring the park's natural beauty or history. Additionally, it may lead to improved responsiveness and reports of potential resource damage.
Thanks, Mr. Caldwell. As I discussed in my opening statement, Senate Bill 1858 requires the Park Service to keep the 14 national cemeteries you administer open during federal holidays. This has been a persistent issue in Montana, where the Custer National Cemetery has been closed on important remembrance days like Christmas and Memorial Day itself. My question is, do you agree that national cemeteries should remain open so family and friends of service members can visit their loved ones and allow for patriotic activities such as wreaths across America to honor fallen service members and warriors on important holidays?
Yes, Senator, thank you for the question. We are proud stewards of 14 national cemeteries across the system, as you pointed out, and our National Park Service cemetery standards require that these sites be maintained in a solemn, tranquil, and dignified way as places of remembrance with access and general maintenance practices designed to support visitation throughout the year, including holidays. And while staffing and site-specific operations may vary, our policy and practices are to keep these sacred places open so families can pay their respect whenever it is most convenient to them.
Thank you. Senate Bill 416, this directs the Park Service to expand the Marsh, Billings, Rockefeller National Historic Park in Vermont to include the King Farm. Senator King, we aren't enacting your dream of living in a national park in this bill, are we? Okay, good. Let's let the record show there's no relationship between the senator and the king in this bill. You may be wondering why a senator from Montana is asking a question on a park in Vermont. However, Frederick Billings, who this park honors, is actually the namesake of Billings, Montana, the largest city in Montana. While Mr. Billings never lived in Montana, his work on the Northern Pacific Railroad and his investments in Montana helped grow the town that would become the county seat, Billings, Montana, of Yellowstone County. Mr. Billings was also an avid conservationist and played a role in the conservation of Yellowstone National Park. My question is, how does the inclusion of King Farm affect the mission of this park and help tell the story of America's prominent businessmen and conservationists?
Thank you for the question, Senator. And while I'm certainly not prepared to answer specifics on the Marsh Billings expansion bill, I do know the department's position is generally to take care of the existing portfolio in our national park system with the existing resources that we have at hand. Having been to Marsh Billings, having seen the King Farm, I can certainly see why you're proud of the story there that's represented there. But at this point, I'm happy to get back to you in the committee when it comes to the specifics of that legislation.
Thank you. It's also the town where my mom and dad grew up. My dad literally married the girl next door in Billings, Montana. Last question, Mr. Caldwell. It's my understanding that Senate Bill 1377, the Theodore Roosevelt National Park Wild Horses Protection Act, requires the Park Service to maintain a genetically diverse herd of wild horses in the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Under the bill, the population of the horses should be no fewer than 150. I know how hard species management can be in Montana. We deal with it a lot, from the bison managed in our parks to grizzlies and wolves outside our parks that should be managed by our state. These issues can have strong opinions. It's important that you work with local stakeholders and our governors before making major decisions. My question, could you tell me how this bill helps give the Park Service tools to manage wild horses and what you have already done to manage them in the park?
Sure. Thank you, Senator. S1377 helps us by providing explicit congressional guidance to maintain a healthy, genetically diverse population while ensuring that horse management remains fully consistent with protecting the park's natural resources. It requires us to develop a cost-effective management plan, establish objective population and genetic benchmarks, and formalize the monitoring and reporting that we have already conducted. It provides a clearer congressional parameters and greater predictability for both the park and the public. Thank you.
Mr. Caldwell, thank you. I'll turn now to Co-Chair King.